of the time, and suspense too. I don't know if you remember the Vagalume, not the Vagalume series.
I guess it's the collection.
Yes. Do you remember the name?
I remember. I guess it's Vagalume. It's
Vagalume?
Vagalume.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was a lot of books about suspense.
Mm-hmm.
I really love it. I think that I made social science because of them, because I read all the collections. And yeah, maybe suspense, not horror because it doesn't exist, and erotic sometimes too, because I feel that's another sources of this stimulation, and I really like it. So it's this.
I see. I really enjoyed to read the suspense, like you said, the romance too. I guess it's my favorite. And for you, Gama, sorry.
Um, I like to read books about finance, about the mining. I haven't read book about novel. I think so. Uh, but most of the time it's about finance. I think so. Mining. I sometimes I can read some is history, but it's not too so usually. I think so. It's not so common for me. But yeah, the most topics that I read that, but most of the times it's finance, minding, yeah, this kind of things. I think so. Yeah,
Which thing you work, Gama?
I work with IT.
Oh, so you need to read a lot things.
Yeah, but in my area, most of the times I read articles about what I wanted to learn, not books. Most of the times I till now I I never read a full book about the IT in the area that I work. I work with development, but I never read a book in my area. Most of the times I just read articles and whatever because I got the point that I want to learn more specific.
And have a lot of articles, like you said, in English, only in English, you know?
Yeah, a lot. I read a lot of things in English in my area and the yeah, I think that if I join everything that I read until today in my area, I think that it could be more than one book. But most of times I read the specific things that I need, so it's a little different.
Yeah. And you remember the last book that you read for fun?
Um, I could say the book that I am reading now. So I think that I will start since the beginning again because I started the last year and I didn't read anymore this year, so I will start again. But I am reading Mais Esperto que o Diabo, Napoleon Hill, I think so, and yeah, I'm reading this book now.
So, so nice. And Gama, can you read for us the number two, please?
Okay, do you have a favorite author also? If so, who? Is it in the why do you like the word? I don't know if I have a favorite author, but yeah, there are some people that I could follow. I think so. I have reading lots of books. I think uh, three or four books about. from Augusto Cury. It's someone that I like. Yeah, but I I read uh until now some books about people that it's from it's abroad. It's not from Brazil. It's a lot of books that it's not from Brazil. I don't remember the name, but I think that I am sure that there are some actors that I have read more than one time. Different book from the same actor. I don't remember the name now. Uh, the man, but yeah, I have read lots of books. Uh, from another countries, I think so. That was translate for to Brazil, to Portuguese. Yeah, but today I was buying some books that is the original language because the I have put by some actors that's from another countries and to learn more English. I think it's better for me.
And I agree with you. And in my case, I don't have like you said, a specific favorite author. So, but I remember the Agatha Christie. It's so famous. But I have to confess one thing. I guess I never read one book about Agatha Christie, but I think it is amazing. For example, but I listen all the time that it's some kind of difficult things like when you need to read all the books about Agatha Christie. It's some like é uma linguagem. It's a language, difficult language. I guess. I'm not sure. If you read it, tell me, please. And what do you think, Bianca?
I remember that always I worked from library, bibliotecas, library. Yeah, I think. And when I was in the high school, in the doing my not second level, I totally forgot. Ensino médio. I had to stay a lot of time in the libraries studying and waiting for the other turn. And I always read Agatha Christie books and mangas too, because I was working, studying from the library, so I had access to a lot of things, But I searched a lot about hers books and so on. But when I get adult, I never read any more books from her. Now the authors that I will say, it's all authors from my job because I have to read some technical things like statistical things, statistical models to learn how to apply into the data. And there is some authors that it's better to me that I understand more what they are explaining. And it's Filed and Favero. Favero, it's a Brazilian teacher. Favaro gave classes in the MBA about data science and analytics from USP. So he's very nice, and he have a manual about statistic and modelaging and so on. And he's very didactic, and I really appreciate that. Filed works with the software that I works, that it's R and SPSS, and he made two manuals too with a lot of pages explaining statistic for these both softwares in Portuguese and English, and in a very didactical way too. it's difficult to find an author that you can learn a difficult thing with pleasure. You can sit and just read a lot and open the software and work together. He embraces you, during this trajectory. So it's very beautiful. I hope that one day I can do the same, write some manuals with this didactic to other people, maybe. But it's them to now.
I remember only when I needed to read some kind of literature, but in Portuguese, of course, during the ensino médio, I guess it's high school, like you said. And um, I have other confess, I hate it. But it's so funny because I don't remember the histories. São like Memórias Póstumas de Brás Cubas, the other Moreninha, let me see, O Noviço.
Did
I
I
don't
say
remember. I don't remember. And let me see, now is number 3. Bianca, can you read it for us, please?
yes? How do you usually choose books to read? Nowadays, I try to find a connection with the author, or a LGBTQ plus author, or a Black author, or a poor author, something that I really connect with him and get more interested during the reading. Because if it's a person that I don't know, I won't I won't try to finish the book. I will give up in the middle. And I feel that when I have a connection with the author, I try to get into their mind and keep following the history with him or her. So this helped me, and I am trying to find, well, at the same time that I try to look for this kind of author, I try to look for this kind of history too. Now I'm reading a book about a Black woman from the south of United States, and she had a very rough uh, young childhood and so on. And there's a lot of elements that I can find in my family too, that we pass through too. My family, we don't hug a lot. We just hug in the end of year parties, Christmas and New Year. So
I
it's
know and I understand.
So, and I look at that, I thought, oh my God, I never thought that this could be common to other person. So do you know this kind of
Mhm,
similarities that it's feeding me to read more and to keep reading.
mm. I agree with you. And my family is the same. And for you, Gama.
My criteria, I think it's simple. It's just I like the book. If I like the book, I buy it. And I just buy one book when I finish the last one that I'm reading. For example, I'm reading a book now, like I said previously. So I just will buy one new book when I finish the book that I'm reading now because I do it for me don't have a lot of books at my home if we fail to read it. So it's a path that I flow. But yeah, if I I search for one new book or something, uh, I saw reviews sometimes, or if I like the title or something, I buy it and I read. I just read. I don't have a lot of criteria for it, auto or something like this. Just I think the book can be good. I buy it.
So nice. And you prefer reading a physical book or at the screen?
Physical book,
Ah, me
all my
too.
books are physical, because I am in the front of the screen all my day.
All the
I do
day.
it because I want to run away about the screen. So my one friend said me recently, buy a Kindle. No, I want to physical because I want to run away from the screen.
Mm, I agree with you. And the main thing that I really enjoy when I get one book is the smell. And oh my gosh, when I enter the library, for example, at the supermarket or shopping, oh my gosh, it's a crazy thing because I smell all the books that I get in my hand. It's so nice. And what do you prefer, Yanka? The physical? Or, for example, it's like doesn't matter if it is in at the screen. Your microphone is muted.
Sorry, this is a thing in my head because usually I read when I am traveling. So I read into the bus or waiting for the bus. And when I am traveling, I don't like to, I already have a lot of weight to carry. So I am thinking if I buy a Kindle, if it will be a good idea. But because of this, I like the smell of the book, all this traditional thing. But I am thinking in a more practical way, the weight. Because I have a book in here, for example. Oh, it's not here. But it's like this, it's heavy. It's not easy to carry that thing into my bag and so on. So I was thinking about it, if it will be a good idea and so on. But I admit that physical books we have more, I don't know, maybe more contact with the history. It's more maybe. I agree.
And I don't know the name in English, but the marcadores book. Oh my gosh, for example, I really need to take a collection because it's so fun for me. I don't know for you guys, but for me, it's amazing. And Gama, can you read it for us the number 4?
What's the most recent book you read and liked? What did you like about it? Um, the last book that I read and I liked. I could say that one uh that I'm reading now, it's a good one book. I am, but I will start it from the beginning again, like I said. Uh, it's a good book. I think I was the page 10 or a little more, but I will start it again because I started a lot, a little, but this book speaks about technology. It's that it's important. I think so. It was introducing yet, but it talks about mind. Then there are some advice that it's good for for us. I didn't have a lot of things for say because I am in the beginning, but I read uh the book he called the Pai Rico, Pai Pobre. It was good, and there are a lot of knowledge about finance, and that it's important for us. I think so. There are a lot of concepts that they say there, and there are a lot of concepts that doesn't work for 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 Brazil, for example, because it's a different market from the US that is where the actor it's from. But I like speak about finance in the Wise, a book that I like to read, and there are a lot of knowledge important for me.
Muito nice. And for you, Yanka.
Most recent book, I don't know if I changed. I'm sorry about the dogs, guys. Uh, it
I
was
can hear.
no, oh,
No.
good, thank you. But it's Born in a Crime. I don't, maybe I already comment with you, Tamara, but it's a book written by Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah, it's a comedian, US comedian that presents the Daily Night Show. It's a very nice show too. Very
Put it
nice.
in the chat after, please.
Okay, but it's so nice, guys. They released today an episode about the Trump's bosses from yesterday, and
Mm.
it's the worst, of course, but it's good to think with them. And well, Trevor Noah, it was a person that worked in there that presented the show too. And he was born in South Africa, and I am studying South Africa. Reading books is nice because if you are studying some country, you can pick the literature from this country, read, and know better from this country. And it was what I tried to do reading Trevor Noah. He's a South African guy and the title is Born in a Crime because her mother, it was a South African woman, and his father, it was a English man. So, and it was prohibited to have this kind of relationship between blacks and whites in that moment during the apartheid. So because of this, he was born in a crime, you know. So it's very interested. And he talked about his childhood and at the same time about the South African history because he passed through a lot of things. So yeah, it's very nice. And he's a comedian. So you laugh all the book. It's very funny.
No, I will search about this. That's so nice. It's it's a pretty interesting, very interesting. And let me see. I tried the last year read the Pride and Prejudice, and I have this book with two languages. And for example, when you open, have in the left side in English, in the right side in Portuguese. But I guess the Jane Austen, it's so difficult to read in Portuguese. Can you imagine in English? And so I can't because I guess my English is not so good until then for reading this kind of book. But I will try again in this year, and I will start to read that one that I buy above uh, the 50 Shades of Grey, something like that, because at the past I read in Portuguese. So I bought this book just for read in English, and I will try. And I will try, but I read just one page. Read this year too, but in Portuguese. Olhai os Lírios do Campo. And I read this book at the past a long, long time ago, and I don't remember the history. And I don't know what's happening with me. I just forget the history that I read on one day, so I will start again. And now is let me see, number 5. Yanka, can you read it for us, please?
Yes. Are there any book that have left a lasting impact on you? What made them special? Um, I think that I already mentioned to you again, Tamara, but it was Fahrenheit 451. It's one of them because it was about an utopic society that it was prohibited to read. You can't read. You couldn't read anymore. It was a crime to do that because read bring to you unhappiness. And sometimes it's true if you read a lot, you can be a little bit unhappy because the society and the reality it's sometimes a little bit depressing. So yeah, it's this kind of society, and there was firemen, but the firemen put fire on books. This it was his job, their job, to do that, to put fire on books and do not end fires and so on. And one of these firemen one day pick a book and starts to read and starts to question himself about why it was prohibited to read books. And then the stories begins and a lot of things happen, but it's very interesting. And I liked this book because I liked this utopical society thing, but in some way it's possible that we achieve them. We achieve this kind of reality. Not exactly this kind of reality, but a similar one. Like in the Handmaid's Tale too, that it's a theological society. It was from a book that I should read this book, but I think that maybe we could achieve that kind of society, and it's not that good. So maybe these utopical world books uh leave something into me, maybe fear mainly.
Yeah, exactly like you said. Yeah, I watched the Handmaid's Tale, and oh my gosh, when you stop and thinking about it, it's a crazy thing. No, and unfortunately, it's possible to happen this one day, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. But can you imagine? Oh my gosh, it's a hard thing that you, for example, when you thinking, and it's crazy. And for you, Gama,
It's number 5, yeah?
yeah.
Mhm. I think all book that I read let something in me because I read uh something new with each one. But one specific book that I read once at one time, uh, it counted a specific fact that I remember today, until today, that was woman that was learning a boy how they could do the things. Uh, for example, in one time, this boy do something wrong, and this man uh stay lots of angry with him and say a lot of things for him. And in the book, after this situation, he say that he did something, he did it running because he become angry with him because for something that he was not learn teaching him before. Uh, so in this book, I learned that sometimes we stay angry for something that the other people sometimes don't know about, and or sometimes don't at work. The people so do something wrong, no because they want, but because they don't know how to do. So was something that until today I remember when I remember about this book.
And what the name?
Was Larry Titos was US guy, I think so. In the Teleios, I think so. It's different the book, but what
That's
what
nice. Put it in the chat, please.
I think it was one of book that I most like to read. I think so.
That's nice. That's nice. And I guess it's number 6. I I did this question for you guys before the number 3, and now is number 7. Can you read it for us, Gama, please?
Number 7. Are there any reading habits or ritual that enrich your reading experience? No, I think no. I read it at much time when I have time. I got my book and I read it. But the sometimes in specific context I think I take uh I reserve I could say I got a specific time of my day just for reading. I have not doing it now because I don't I didn't have read some lots of book anymore. But sometimes I got part of my day just for reading. Sometimes at night or at morning or on in the morning when I wake up, just read. But in the past, I read lots of books when I was going to the work because in the past, I went to work from by bus, and yeah, I read a lot of books at the bus. Lots of books. It was what to do my time pass at the bus. So yeah, I read a lot of books, but today I work from home. It's different. But yeah, I but today I just read books when I have a free time for it. I don't reserve time. It's not a high priority today because I have all the school things for the
I agree with you. It's so easy when you need to go to the other place. And for example, I'll keep reading this book, and you arrive there, for example, at the bus, like you said, like Yanka said. And when you work from home, it's so difficult.
sometimes it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes that I have appointment, for example, for a doctor that I know that I wait for something. I will read the book with me for I wait reading
Yeah.
when I remember also. Also when I remember, I take with me.
I try read the book before I go to the bed, but oh my gosh, sometimes it's so I am so tired and I just can't. And for you, Yanka.
Hi guys, I don't have time neither. As you, it's so difficult. And before going to the bed, I prefer to watch some series. It's not good to do that. I know that we want to amend and to watch another episode and so on. But I prefer because sometimes I'm just tired. We pass all the day in front of the computer, reading a lot, talking with people. And when I'm going to the bed, I just want to do not interact with nothing, including books, including reading, you know. Sometimes I just want to, I don't know, to do nothing, to just staying there looking at something that I think it's interested in and waiting the sono sometimes. It's like that. But I was really hoping that you could give me some tips because I am really in trouble. I really want to start to reading more, but I don't find a technique or something that help me. Erica tried to read one book per month, but I tried, doesn't work with me. Sorry. I'm trying. One thing that works with me, it's reading when I am traveling. This works because I have to save battery of my phone and I want to do something. So a book, it's interesting to do that because doesn't consume battery and then I don't have to charge it. And so it's nice, it's good in this moment, but just in this moment, I don't have another moment to do that. I will search for some tips, and in the next immersion, I can share with you guys some tip or something that we could do. Maybe a club, a book club, it will be nice. There's a book club on the internet from New York that it's open. I don't have the link anymore, but I can search and send to you. But maybe a book club in English, it will be good to us. I don't know. We can search for it or found some book club in here in Talking Talk. It will be good too.
I know that it's happened in at the past here on TNT, the book club.
Will be a good idea. I will send to Isa this idea if she wants, because every time in here we train a lot speaking. During the course we are training writing too. But reading we don't train too much in here, so it will be good to have this space too.
It's a good point to talking about this kind of class with you, Philip. It's so nice. And now, let me see, is number 8. Bianca, can you read it for us, please?
Have you ever reread a book? If yes, why did you decide to read it again? Yes, it was The Lady That Stole Books, A Menina que Roubava Livros, but it was because it hurts a lot, and I don't know why I did it. And Anne Frank too. There was a time that I was very into war stories, Second War stories, like Anne Frank or A Menina que Roubava Livros, but because I wanted to understand better, I think. And again, when someone tell their story and tell their story with the context together, it makes easier to understand the story from the country and the story of the person too. So it was really good to do that, but it was so sad. I don't know why humans have this kind of thing. That's something that really hurts, and we go after that to read more and to know more and to investigate more. I don't know why, but it was two books that I reread.
Of the girl that is over the books, I just watched the movie. And what do you think? It's the same, or you never watched it?
I didn't know that have a movie about this this book,
Yeah.
but I will watch and then we can discuss it because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, I'm just it's so interesting because I just watched the movie and you just read the the book. And for you, Gama,
I've never read the book, I think so. There are some books that I think uh, I thought, so this book it's good. I was good to read it again, but there are some books that I want to read. I also want to read, and because I didn't reread the book until today. Because there are some books that I want to read after it. But it wasn't because missing the desire. It's because I want to read another one. Yeah,
it's so nice. And about all the books that you're reading in your in your life, have you one specific that you lost, that you forget? Sorry, the history.
definitely. I think there are. Uh, I the last time that I count, I think I have read more than 20 books, I think so. In there are some books that I don't remember that I didn't remember that I have reading that that book, but yeah, I think it happens. I don't know if I have an example now because it's love book and just to remember the title is not so easy, but I think it's already happens. Yeah.
Mm. And for you, Yanka, do you remember one book that you forget the history? And for example,
So, go on.
and for example, you needed to learn again, read again.
Yes, and you laugh about in my face, but it was Harry Potter series and Crepúsculo series too. Because when these books was released, I just ate them, you know.
Me too.
I just read very fast and I didn't enjoy the lecture, the details. So um doesn't took a lot of time to forget about some details or some stories. Until today, I get loose between the titles, for example, or the sequence, or what happened in each book. I remember because of the movies, but not exactly because of the books, you know. The same with Crepúsculo. I just ate that books and I forgot very easy some details about the story, the history. So it was because of that. I just read really fast because I wanted to get into the end, you know.
Yeah, me too. And I read the Crepúsculo in Portuguese, and I ate it like you said. And after that, I saw the movies, and I both with the 50 Shades of Grey, the Twilight in English, but I can't read it. I don't know. I guess the history it's too nowadays. I guess it's too teenager, something like that, you know. And I can't read more. It's a craze because, for example, I remember when I read and like you said, I ate the book and it's happening. I just remember. I don't remember the some kinds of details like you said. It's nice. And about the lining, guys, the fila, a fila. in Portuguese. What do you need and what do you like to read this year? What is your focus? I will start with you, Bianca.
I have just one objective that is to read more in English. I like contos, short stories,
Hmm.
into the same book because I feel that it's like a series, but in a book way, and I can keep my attention on it. So maybe contos in English, it will be nice to try to read more this year. Maybe it could help me to stay focused on it.
And about this conto, is some like a literature or the other gender?
I don't know, maybe literature. I like suspense too. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I have to search, but it's a good idea to try to read more, to put more
Mhm.
effort.
That's nice. That's nice. And for you, Gama?
For this year, I don't have some goals with books. Uh, I'm reading one, like I said, but since the last, but in this book that I am reading, I earned from a friend. But since the last year, I got a goal that is just buy books with the original language, in specific in English, if it was from there, unless that's this book is from Brazil, was Portuguese, I will book in Portuguese. But for this year and the next, and I don't know until when, I will book the books in the original language because I want to read more in English and whatever. But I don't have goals with a specific book for this year, just for the language that I want to read. Yeah, just it.
Like you said, in my case, it's the same. I don't have goals for reading the kind of specific book this year, but I will try.
Yeah.
So, guys, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope to have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. So, see you and